Hallo Fliege. So, schauen wir mal. Ah, first guest is here. Very good. Who is it? Hi, hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me properly? Whoever you are, I don't see who it is. Okay, number 3. We are very, very small. Hello, Kerstin. Hi. You know, it's an English tour today. Yeah, it was announced as an English tour. I have the feeling that most of the guests today are my loyal German-speaking group, but nevertheless. Hi, you can hear me. Very good. Very good. Okay, 23 people. Will be a very exclusive small group today, which is absolutely fine for me. It's a beautiful day in Vienna. It's absolutely marvelous. The air is balsamic and the sky is super blue, and we will have a very, very nice blue hour, I'm pretty sure. It was very hot today and I have a terrible cold, so I really don't feel well. I look horrible today, but I hope you appreciate that I'm touring with you today. So, 32 people already. Hi Eve! This is a good hour for you, isn't it? Not so horrible as the earlier tours. Okay, so we are all on the same page. This will be an English tour. And hopefully we will have fun. Hi Lynn, you have time. That's good. Hello. Yeah, hopefully we will have fun. I have no specific path that I want to go in my mind. I think I also wrote it in the text, in the announcement text, that I just want to wander through the city. I was hoping for a really beautiful summer evening, and we have the beautiful summer evening. So I just want to meander a little bit through the city, show you the people sitting outside, perfect today. Yeah, show you the light, show you the beautiful buildings, just see where we end in about an hour. And of course, I'm also going to tell you, hi Marie-Louise, I'm also going to tell you a couple of stories about the houses that we are going to see, about the park where I'm just sitting right now. And yeah, so I'm sure the hour will be gone very quickly. I hope so, at least. Yeah, so now it starts again. My feverish finger turns this around and it works. And you will see where I am. I am actually, hi to the Lavantal. It's so funny. Mostly German-speaking people. But Natamin, yeah, wonderful. So I'm right now sitting in the Burggarten. The Burggarten, the former private garden of the emperor's family. I'm sitting right in front of the newest, oops, I have to change the gimbal modus, right in front of the palace. You see that here. This is the so-called Neue Burg, the new castle, the youngest part of the palace. By the way, all the German speakers amongst you, yeah, you know my stories already, yeah. So there will be some things that you know already. So it's more an overview tour for my English-speaking community, and I'm very, very happy that you are all here, German or English-speaking. We're a big community. Okay, so I'm sitting in the Burggarten. Over there you can see the butterfly house. It's maybe not recommendable to go into the butterfly house when the temperatures are as high as they used to be in the last 6 to 8 weeks. But in the winter it's a very cozy place, very humid, very warm, and the big butterflies are fluttering around. We will soon go into this direction because I want to show you the beautiful greenhouse which was designed by Friedrich Ohmann at the beginning of the 20th century, a little bit more in detail. And I want to get up now. So, I want to get up now. And I'm really curious what these two statues over there might be. Who are they? Martin already asked me. And fortunately, I know them. So, let's hear the story of these two guys. It's actually a guy and a girl. So can you see them properly? It's a guy and a girl. The girl is on the left side, the guy is on the right side. And the girl and the guy are like symbols or represent two Austrian rivers. On the left side we have the Drau. The Drau is a river that flows through Carinthia in the south of Austria. And on the right side we have the gentleman here, and he symbolizes the Inn. The Inn river flows mainly through Tyrol, through the Alps. It's a very clear, very cold mountain river. And this is also why you can see the mountain goat next to him. Do you see it? There's the mountain goat. So Inn flows through the Alps, and this is why we have the mountain goat. In German, this would be the Gemse. A Gemse is close to him. So now you can ask, okay, there are two rivers standing in a not really very beautifully kept corner of the high to Appet lawn, in a not very beautifully kept corner of the Burggarten. Why are they here? What are they doing here? The answer is a very strange one. They are actually, or were, part of a very large fountain, which is not far from here. It's basically just around the corner, and I'm going to show the fountain to you a little bit later. So they were part of the so-called Danubius or Albrechts fountain, right under the Albertina Museum. And the Danubius fountain, the proud Corinthian, the Danubius fountain has a couple of statues that represent various important rivers of the old monarchy of Austria and Hungary. And in the war, in the Second World War, when the opera was badly hit by bombs, and when on the same day also the big Philipphof, a big apartment house behind the opera, was completely destroyed, and also when the Albertina, like half of the Albertina were absolutely gone, also the Danubius fountain was suffering, and so the statues were taken away, and finally they ended up, I'm going to walk a little bit while I'm telling you the stories, and you see the skies are already getting very, very beautiful. Something about my gimbal mode doesn't really work, but it's okay. So what did I want to tell you? Exactly, all these statues were taken away from Vienna, most of them at least, and they were stored in various parts of Austria. And later, around the 1980s, when the fountain was restored finally, the statues were brought back, and they were put alongside the other statues. Again, look, we are looking down at the Burggarten now. So we are looking out, and this, I love it, yeah. So because the people are lying in the grass, they are having their picnics, they are drinking a bottle of wine. Sometimes you can see open air yoga classes here. So I always loved the Burggarten a lot. But it was not always open to the public until the end of the First World War. So until the end of the monarchy, this was a private garden, and there was no access to the public. And also look at the trees, they are just beautiful, beautiful old trees everywhere. And then you have the view over to, yeah, to the, I'm so sorry, I'm still working a little bit on this gimbal mode today. It's, maybe now it's better, we'll see. We will see. Okay, so, oopsie, no, that was not a good idea, Claudia. Oh God. All right, I'll leave it. Sorry, I think I need a new gimbal. So, all right, but let me continue the story about the fountain. While we are walking here along the Burggarten, while we are looking at the people that are enjoying their aperols or their evening beers, while we are looking at the beautiful Palmenhaus here in front of me. That beautiful steel structure or cast iron structure, more or less. It was designed by Friedrich Ohmann at the beginning of the 20th century. So have a look. You can even see into it a little bit. And this is a really, really wonderful place to enjoy a drink in the evening or to have lunch. They also have a nice brunch in here. You can look inside a little bit. It's a very cool place, the Pavement House. In the old days, they sometimes had clubbings here. So I think in the 1990s, they had clubbings here. You see that the city is very packed. There are lots and lots of people in here, all enjoying the beautiful weather. So, the fountain. So the statues were brought back, the fountain statues, they were brought back and they were put alongside the Danubius and the Vindobona, which is the middle couple of the fountain. But then the Albertina Museum was restored and was reopened later, and someone had the idea, we need an escalator leading up to the Albertina, so that people can use the escalator to go up to the Albertina ramp, as we like to call it. And the problem was that the in-river statue was where they wanted to build the escalator. So they had to take the inn away in order to build the escalator there. So and they just stored the inn into the corner that I just showed you. And for the symmetry, they said, okay, we cannot have one statue more on the left side. That's not possible. We have to take the Drau away as well, so that everything is nice and symmetrical again. And this is why the two statues, Inn and Drau, ended up here in this corner of the Burggarten, because the inn had to make room for an escalator, and because the Drau was the victim, because everything had to be symmetrical. When you look up here, up the entrance gate to the Burggarten, you can see the back of a beautiful eagle, and on top of the eagle is a crown. And I'm going to walk through the gate now, and I'm going to show you the eagle from the other side. It's a very special eagle, and many of you maybe know it already. It's also a very beautiful wrought iron gate. So, and there is already the Albertina. The sky is getting bluer and bluer. It's very, very beautiful. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Albertina in a few minutes. How are you doing? Are you feeling fine? Do you enjoy the tour so far? Are you all happy? I see that we have 51 people, many more than I expected to be with me. So, good. So here you see the eagle. As I said, it's a very special eagle. Why? Because it has two heads. And it's the old symbol for the double monarchy of Austria and Hungary. One head is for Austria, one head is for Hungary, and they are united by one body because the Emperor of Austria was also the King of Hungary. And there you can see the crown again. It's actually the Rudolph's crown, the official crown of the monarchy of Austria, which can be seen in the treasury nowadays. Some of you know I do tours in the treasury. And then I explain the crown a lot. So what I want to do now is to show you this fountain. I talked so much about the fountain that I have to show it to you finally. Over there is the Opera House of Vienna. It's the back side of the Opera House. Lots of people on the streets. The opera was the first official big building that was built along the Ringstraße around the year 1870, so it makes it a very early building of the Ring Avenue, the famous boulevard of Vienna. And I would like to do a little detour in here, into this courtyard here, because in here we have a very beautiful museum, the Heidi Horton collection. Let me show you here. Oopsie, where is it? Oh, here. The Heidi Horton collection. And I'll show you the courtyard. It's so amazing because the city is so packed. There is so much going on the streets. But when you find a little courtyard or a larger courtyard, suddenly it's very quiet. Can you hear that? I mean, can you hear how quiet it is in here compared to the outside? I don't see the comments, but I hope they are only positive. So this is the Heidi Horten collection. It's in an old building, but inside it's very modern and very new. And that is also the art that they are showing in there. It's mainly contemporary art or modern art. Like they have a huge collection of Andy Warhols inside and Pollocks and whatever. And I can also show you a little bit of the art out here. Don't ask me about the name of this one here, but it looks cool, especially in that type of weather. And sometimes during the day when you are here in this courtyard and the windows over there are open, then it happens that you hear piano music and the commands of the of the ballet dancers who have to do their rehearsals and have to do their training in there, because this whole building belongs to the opera house here. So they have rehearsal rooms in here. They have apartments for opera singers that are only here for a couple of performances. So it is not part of the opera building itself, but it's part of the opera complex. Over there, a fox is walking, Martin, who is checking the sound, and I give you a view to that. Hi, regards to Salzburg. It's time to visit Salzburg again. Haven't been there for a long time. So after this little excursion into the courtyard of the Heidi Horten collection, we are going outside again, into the crowds. And actually what we are looking at here is the old city wall. So this is one of the parts of the old city wall where you can still see, I'm really sorry, I have some technical problems today. All right, and this is part of the old city wall, which actually looked differently, of course, in the old days. But that's how high it was here. This is the so-called Albertiner Bastei. And there was, in addition, a very deep moat in front of the city wall. So, yeah, and there is the fountain. There are the other statues of the various rivers. For example, we have the Mur here. The Mur is a river in Styria, and you see a kind of shepherd, a shepherd boy with what is it, a sheep. And we have the Salzach, which is a river that is in Salzburg. I have someone from Salzburg here in the group today. I just saw it. So here is your river. Here is the Salzach. Here we go. And so this goes on and on and on. One river after the other. The Mach. Mach is a very important river because it was a border river. And here we have a very nice view over to our opera house and to something which is really very important. Maybe as important as the many museums, maybe as important as the opera house over there itself. It is a sausage stand. Because in Vienna we love sausages, we like to go to the sausage kiosk. This one is especially funny because it has the bunny on the very top, so you can see it from far away. And you know, here is a place to order your Käsekreiner. Many people, by the way, in the meantime know that this is a place to order Käsekreiner. I think the Bitzinger sausage stand is in many, many guidebooks. This is the reason why I'm not coming here anymore. I have my own favorites. But this is the place where you can get the famous Käsekreiner together with a beer. I recently did a reel where I told you not to order, please never to order eine Ettrige mit einem Bugel und einer Dosen 16er Blech. This is the Viennese version of ordering, or is not the Viennese version of ordering Käsekreiner in Vienna. Maybe you want to watch the video again. How to navigate through the city. Then we have another famous building over there. That is the Hotel Sacher. Hotel Sacher with Café Mozart on the ground floor. Everyone thinks the Sacher cake was created there, but that is not true because the Sacher cake was created at Demmel's pastry shop. Not far away. And a very beautiful view over to the Opera House again. And a fiacre. Very controversial, these carriages, as you can guess. Especially when it's so hot. And my friends, what do we have over there? In the distance, we can already see St. Stephen's Cathedral. And I want to work my way over to the church. You see that the skies are getting nice and blue and very beautiful. It is perfect. We are still walking along. Oh, I forgot to show you the Danubius and Vindobona. This is the couple here. The important couple is here in the middle. Let me go a little bit closer. There we go. So who do we have here? We have on the left side Danubius. Danubius symbolizes what? The Danube, of course. The river Danube. The Danube, which is the most important river in Austria. And that's why it's kind of accompanied by all the other rivers on both sides. And the lady on the right side, this is Vindobona. So this lady symbolizes the city of Vienna. And since the Danube is so important for Wien, for Vienna, they are kind of sitting here like a couple. He looks a little bit cranky and grumpy at us. You see, he's pointing his finger at us. He says, "What are you doing here?" He looks cranky, I heard, because the artist wanted to show that the Danube, although it was an important river for Vienna, it was also always a very dangerous river for Vienna because of the many floodings. But on the other hand, he is holding Danubia Vindobona around her shoulder. So on one side, a dangerous river, on the other side, a river that is important for the city, that embraces the city, and that was one of the most important ways of transportation for the city of Vienna for centuries. It's a very beautiful fountain, but most people are always just busy eating sausages here on the steps, that they don't pay attention to the beautiful details. You see all these fishmen here, the Bretonen. And another view over to Bitzinger sausage stand and all the people eating sausages here. You see them. Getting hungry when I see that. All right, we continue our way. We continue. So, you see the other statues here, and here was the place where the inn used to be formerly. Now you have the escalator here. This was the inn's place. Now you can go up the Albertina on the escalator. I am not so sure if the signal works when I'm on the escalator, so I'm skipping that today. But for those who are coming to Vienna, it's a very comfortable way to go up to this very, very beautiful and recommendable museum, the Albertina. The Albertina is from the beginning famous mainly for its incredible collection of drawings. They have 65,000 drawings in here and 1 million prints, many of them from the 16th, 17th century. So the most famous are the prints and drawings by Albrecht Dürer, for example. The bunny that you see on top of Bitzinger sausage stand is an exact copy of, where is the bunny again? Yeah, the green bunny you see in the distance is an exact copy of the famous hare or the famous bunny that Albrecht Dürer made a drawing of and which is kept here in the Albertina. So Albertina is mainly important for drawings and prints, but it also acquired a beautiful collection of impressionists, expressionists. They have very, very beautiful stage rooms in here. So you see that's an advertisement for the staterooms, very recommendable. And they always have very interesting special exhibitions. So at the moment, Eva Beresin, who I don't know, Franz Grabmeier over there, but the permanent exhibition is Monet to Picasso. It's a very, very large exhibition. So you can spend a lot of time in the Albertina. We are looking at the spire of St. Augustine's Church. That's the very slim spire over there, Gothic spire. That is St. Augustine's Church. We are going closer to St. Augustine's Church now. I really have to watch my step today because there are so many people on the streets. And it worked in New Orleans, so why should it not work here in Vienna, in my hometown? So there is the film museum. It's not a museum, it's actually a cinema. It's a movie theater here. No mainstream movies though. So it's like, how do you call it? I don't know. The word doesn't come at the moment. And what they do very nicely here at the Albertina, they always paint the stairs that are leading up to the exhibition with one of the paintings inside. So I can see, I think these are the water lilies by Monet at the moment, but I go a few steps back, then you will see them a little bit better. So join me, my friends. So it's very beautiful out here. So let's see if it's a little bit better from here. Yeah. Here you can see it better now. It's a very beautiful view over to the opera, to the stairs leading up to the Albertina itself. You see it. And practically this whole part was gone, destroyed by bombs in the year 1945. And here on the left side, where you see the memorial against war and fascism nowadays, was a very big apartment house, the Philipphof, which completely collapsed after 3 bombs hit it, and there were lots of people trapped down there in the bomb shelter, and it's actually a big tomb over there. But let's talk about nicer things. But yeah, the war was something that hit Vienna, not as much as German cities were hit and were destroyed, but we also had quite some bombs here in the city. Alrighty. We continue, and the next square I want to take you to is Joseph Square. Are you all doing fine? Are you all happy? That's a very beautiful museum, by the way, as well. So it's a tour to show you also what you can see, what you can visit when you are in Vienna. Best is to visit the things with me, by the way. It is the Palais Lobkowitz. The Lobkowitz were a Czech noble family, but you know, Vienna was such an important city. This is why all those noble aristocratic families from other parts of the monarchy, they had their palaces in Vienna, in the capital of the monarchy. And especially here, because we are very close to the Hofburg, we just saw a part of the Hofburg actually. Especially here, there are many of those city palaces of the old aristocracy, because it was, you know, très chic to have your own, people are smiling at me, to have your own city palace close to the palace of the emperor. At the moment, or now, it's not a palace for aristocracy anymore. It has a very beautiful museum inside. It is the theater museum. So if you want to see models of stage designs or costumes or exhibitions about specific movies like the Sisi movies here, then this is the place to go. They also have in the open courtyard a very nice little kiosk where you can buy coffee and where you can sit again in a very, very quiet courtyard. All right. So I'm not a fan of these cars here, like of these tourist cars. But yeah. Okay. We are leaving the area of the Albertina. Now, I did not tell you why it is called Albertina. Who lived there? Was it always a museum? The answer is, of course not. It was not always a museum. The stage rooms inside, they show how the owner of this palace used to live way back in the 18th century. And the original owner was Albert from Sachsen in Germany. Later also Albert von Teschen in Silesia. Albert was the husband of one of the daughters of Empress Maria Theresa, actually her favorite daughter, and the only child who was allowed, or that was allowed, to marry the man that she loved. All the other girls had to marry for political reasons. They had to marry guys that were chosen by the mother, because the mother wanted to have her children placed everywhere in Europe, to rule Europe in a certain way. And apparently for Marie Christine there was no important prince left that she had to marry, so she was allowed to choose the person she really loved, and that was Albert. It was one of the happiest marriages in the history of the Habsburgs ever. And they lived together here. After they had ruled the Austrian Netherlands for a long time, they lived in Brussels. They had a very beautiful palace close to Brussels, a Laeken Palace. And I think I'm going to avoid this little walk-through way here. And that's where they already started to collect the drawings, and they put their art collection together there. And when they moved to Vienna, they took the art collection with them, and now it is here. Now it is here in the Albertina in Vienna. We arrived at Joseph Square, named after the guy here in the middle, Joseph II. Also a child of Maria Theresa, but he had to marry for political reasons. Isabel of Parma, and he loved her. She didn't love him so much, unfortunately. Poor Joseph. Joseph was our reform emperor. And look here, there is a concert in the Palais Pallavicini. I don't know if you can see the beautifully lit rooms. This is also an aristocratic palace, and this is even, at least partly, still owned by the family that also built it originally. And since they cannot afford, I mean nowadays no person can afford keeping up a building like this in the middle of the city, so they use it for events. They rent it out for events and concerts. And at the moment, apparently, there is a concert just going on. I can see a very, very big and beautiful chandelier inside. Maybe I can show it to you. No, it's not easy to see it, but you can see it a little bit. Here is a chandelier. So yeah, this is how the old aristocracy used to live in the 18th century. And to show who lived in this palace, we have again the double-headed eagle on the top, together with the coat of arms of the Pallavicini family. Music continues. I was hoping that we could hear something, but apparently not. So, what are we looking at now? We're looking at another part of the Hofburg Palace. At the moment, just scaffolded the middle part of the National Library. In here is the State Hall of the National Library. 2 floors are covered by an incredibly beautiful library with about 200,000 books inside. And we have 2 people on the top here. This is on the left side, Atlas. He's holding the world or the universe on his shoulders. He's really having a hard time. You see, he's really struggling because the world is so super heavy. The other person I cannot really show you today, but you just have to trust me. That would be Gaia on the other side. And it's a pity that I cannot show you Gaia tonight, because Gaia basically holds the same universe on one finger. Yeah, she's apparently doing more work out than than Atlas is doing. So Atlas and Gaia here on the top of the National Library. And finally here on this square, and not visible from here, you remember I showed you the spire of a church, of St. Augustine's Church. And St. Augustine's Church actually hides here behind this part of the palace. So they more or less in the 18th century, they built this part of the palace in front of the Gothic church. So when you go to the service, what would be one of the oldest books is the question. I think I already saw books from, I don't know, from the year 500 or so in their special exhibitions. They have large storage rooms and sometimes also offer tours through the National Library. It's incredible. They have a lot of those old Inkunabeln there. Inkunabeln are the handwritten books that the monks in the Middle Ages used to write and also make those beautiful drawings. So it's a fantastic collection. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, the entrance to the church is over there. And why do I mention the church at all? Is inside the church is a beautiful monument on the right side, a beautiful monument made of Carrara marble by Antonio Canova, the Italian artist. And it's a kind of a tomb, a triangle-shaped tomb, pyramid-shaped tomb, a monument for Maria Christina, exactly the woman of Albert who was the owner of the Albertina. Unfortunately, she died. She had typhus. She died. She passed away much too early. He was grieving horribly, and he wanted a beautiful memorial for his beloved late wife. And so he asked this wonderful artist Canova from Venice to create a beautiful memorial, and he did that. You can see that when you go into the Augustine Church. There's a funny like side story. When you go to Venice and go into the church, the Frari Church, Santa Maria dei Frari, there is the memorial or the tomb of Antonio Canova himself, and it looks very, very much like the one for Maria Christina. They are very similar to each other. It's also a pyramid, and also mourning people walking inside, carrying the urn in their hands. So it's very inspired by this. All right, we are slowly coming into the smaller streets of the city center. We just left the larger streets behind with the opera. We are going into those smaller streets. I can smell horses because these are the stables of the Lipizzaner stallions. Yeah, so where you see the bright lights, that's where 80 of the Lipizzaner stallions are kept in luxury stables. We just saw the luxury hotel Sacher. This is the luxury hotel, Lipizza, for those white dancing horses, you could say. And I tried already to walk through here once and it worked. So if it doesn't work, then I will find out. But I want to try to walk through here, show you a little bit of the stables. Lots of cars in here today. It's not very well. It's not such a good view because this is reflecting too much. But yeah, these are the stables of the Lipizzaner horses in here. So we move on. When they are performing, by the way, they take them across the street from the stables, across the street into the big Baroque riding hall. So behind that door is the entrance to the big riding hall. And the riding hall would be behind those windows here. That's where they are performing. And I can also show you, so touristy, but I have to show you. Here you have those white horses. We have a tourist tour today. Yeah, you see some of the dancing horses. dancing horses. That sounds a little bit ridiculous, but actually the horses, the ancestors of these horses, they were battle horses. They were trained for the fight. And all the things that they are showing during a performance now, like jumping into the air, kicking with the hind legs, standing on the hind legs, these were all things they were trained for in the fights. Because when a horse kicks an enemy with the hind legs, then the enemy can be dead or badly. Now you saw that. So you saw that this is the so-called levade. With the neck, it protected the rider. Let's see the jump. So it's actually turning a horse into a weapon. Now these horses don't have to fight anymore, of course. It's only for entertainment of people. But in the old days, it was actually really things that they needed to do during the fight, because the horses were the early tanks. There were no tanks. There were no bombs, whatever. Oh, there is a horsey inside. It's just eating dinner. Did you see it? Yeah, it moves a little bit. Okay, and we continue. Don't want to see horses all the time, but it's part of the history. We are here very close to the main entrance of the palace. This is a big construction site now. This square here is a huge construction site, but nevertheless, I want to give you a short glimpse over to the main entrance, because it's very, oh my gosh, I nearly fell. You see, it's all construction site because they are modernizing the square. And it's quite impressive, this entrance here. It's just the entrance. The entrance to the palace, yeah. So all the important visitors in their carriages, they had to go through here and hopefully say, wow, this must be a really important man with a main entrance like this. But I mean, my entrance at home also looks like this. And how about yours? So this is St. Michael's Gate and St. Michael's Square, because we are also here close to St. Michael's Church, but we are skipping St. Michael's Church now because we want to go deeper into the city. And to do this, I have to turn around. So, just have to be careful. I don't want to fall with you. The area here, we have the stables, by the way, here again. The area here is our antiquity store area. There's lots of antiquity stores around here. The streets are getting, cute. Houses are getting cute. Old Vienna is greeting us, especially with the little house over there. This is really old Vienna. This is what Vienna looked like before houses like these were built. These houses look old to us as well, but they were new at the end of the 19th century. And the small houses, like the little yellow one over there, they disappeared, they vanished, they were demolished because the city needed room, space. The city wanted to spread out. And people were not so romantic when it came to old buildings in those days. Now you would think twice. Do I really want to take down? Yeah, very sad. Do I really want to take down such a very beautiful building? But in the 19th century, the people did not care about that. That's how it is. Those Viennese. Okay. Once again, I want to turn around. When I say, then I stumbled, okay? So I just talked about St. Michael's Church, and here, I'll just go to the other side. Here you can see the beautiful and very elegant spire of St. Michael's Church, and this whole structure here is the roof of the church. I personally like St. Michael's Church a lot. It's a very old church. It is a church that was built at the transition between Romanesque style and Gothic style. It has an amazing, how would you call it, monastery that is here. It's very huge with a big library and so on. No one knows it. I do tours there, by the way, because I know the priest, Pater Peter, very well. And then they also have a really very creepy crypt under the church, where the bodies are mummified, and they opened a couple of the coffins so that you can see the mummified bodies. Not everyone likes it. I had to get used to that first. I also didn't like it at the beginning. We're always walking along the stables now. Brightly lit windows are the stables, so we did practically a circle around the stables. And I told you that this is the antiquity area. So reflections everywhere. So you can see old rings, earrings, necklaces. There's one shop after the other. This is a bag shop. The only thing I'm struggling today with is my gimbal a little bit, but I think I need a new one. It was so loyal for such a long time. Now I need a new one. All right, we are now walking. Am I? Wait. No, I want to go into the next street. So lots of art galleries here as well. Very strange art, partly. This is also a very traditional coffee house. This is the Bräunerhof, where a famous Austrian writer, Thomas Bernhard, used to be a regular. He actually lived in the house above the Bräunerhof. It's a very traditional coffee house. I always liked it, but now I prefer different ones. Sometimes the taste changes a little bit. Okay, we're now coming into Dorotheagasse, still walking along the antiquity stores. And in Dorotheagasse is an auction house, the Dorotheum. It's also a place which is really cool if you want to buy jewelry or if you want to buy furniture, as I used to do a couple of times in the past. So the Dorotheum would be over there. Then you come to the Dorotheum and you bid on the things. It's a lot of fun, and usually you're very proud when it finally works out and when you get the thing after you bid on it. Another important thing here in the Dorotheagasse is the Jewish Museum. That would be the building with the brightly lit windows on our right side. Originally it was a bank in the 18th century which was owned by a Jewish banker's family. So here, nicely lit. But now for quite some years it has been one of the two Jewish museums in Vienna already. The exhibition in here covers a time period from approximately the 17th century to our times, to the present times, present days. But there's a second Jewish museum on Judenplatz, deeper in the city center, that covers the medieval history of Jewry here in Vienna. And Dorotheagasse is also a very beautiful street because it has very nice Baroque houses. Yeah, so you see the facades here; they are all Baroque. Baroque means 18th century. Basically, these buildings are all from the 18th century. This is a bad example there, but the others are basically all Baroque. I'm taking you through here because I showed you a famous coffee house already, the Bräunerhof. Here is another very famous coffee house, and my dear co-Fuchs husband, Martin, is a regular here in this coffee house. It's a Café Havelka. It's a Viennese legend. There is even a song existing about the Café Havelka. It's not an elegant coffee house. It's more one of those dark, cozy spots where you can vanish for hours and no one will ever find you. But it's, as I said, it's a legend. And when you come to Vienna, or for those who live in Vienna, it's always a good place to come. Maybe not so much in the summer. This is more a place to come in the winter. I mean, usually you sit in a coffee house inside. At least the classical coffee house visitor sits inside. But of course in the last years the Schanigärten, the outdoor places, have become more and more fashionable, especially since COVID. This is the famous Havelka. I show you the sign. Here it is. Buchteln, exactly. There is someone who knows the Havelka in the group. Yeah, you get really good Buchteln here. What is a Buchtel? It's a Viennese Mehlspeise, like a Viennese dessert. It's made of, don't ask me which dough it is. I'm not a baker, but it's actually a very rich dough, and it's filled with plum marmalade, and usually served hot with vanilla sauce, with hot vanilla sauce. So it's delicious. And they usually serve the Buchteln here at the Havelka in the afternoon, and everyone is already happy when it says the Buchteln are ready, and then you can have the Buchteln. This is also a good place if you are hungry. Drzeżniewski, I am absolutely sure that I pronounce it completely wrong. It's a Polish name, Drzeżniewski, probably, I don't know. But it's a sandwich place. So they have, can I film in here? There are no sandwiches on display, of course, now. But it's pretty nice inside. It's 1950s style or 1960s style. And they have, the speciality of their sandwiches is that they are, it's like a spread, different spreads that are on slices of dark bread, rye bread. It's not sandwich with white bread, it's rye bread. And there are some, yeast dough, says Martin. Okay, the Buchteln are made of yeast dough. My assistant Fox is a good one. Yeah, so very recommendable breads, sandwiches from Drzeżniewski, because they are very, very tasty, and I like them a lot. We are now coming on a very bubbly street. It's the so-called Graben. In English it would mean moat. Why moat? Because there used to be a moat here formerly, but that is long, long, long ago. You see the blue hour is completely here now. So here where you have the houses nowadays, the big houses, there used to be the first and oldest city wall of Vienna. Vienna was super small until the year 1200. And in front of that simple, very simple medieval city wall used to be a moat. And I think most people who walk here, I mean the tourists definitely not, but also most of the locals, I think don't know why this street is called Graben, or why this street is called Moat, because we're actually walking here on the old moat, which was closed around the year 1200, and the city was enlarged and got a new city wall, a larger, wider city wall, because the city was larger then. You see the plague pillar here in the middle. And we are now walking over to St. Stephen's Cathedral. Oh my Lord. And there it is. There is the church. There it appears. Our Steffel. Beautiful in that light. You know, I've seen this church thousands of times. I'm in the city ever so often, but each time I come around the corner here and I see the church, I'm overwhelmed, because it's you get never used to it, never. And there are some times of the day, especially when the sun is setting, or at night, for example, like now, it's just overwhelmingly beautiful. And I always think, how on earth did the people build it way back in the Middle Ages? I mean, I know how they built it. They had huge wooden wheels, like hamster wheels, where the men had to run inside these wheels, and with the actual manpower, they lifted the stones up to the very, very top. It's 138 meters high, and when it was finished, it was for a couple of years the tallest building on Earth. It's hard to believe nowadays. Now it's a dwarf compared to all these skyscrapers everywhere, but then it was the tallest building on Earth for, I think, about 5 years, and then the Münster in Strasbourg was built a couple of meters higher. Internal affairs, you know, church affairs. We want to have the higher church spire. And so, yeah, the Tower of St. Stephen's was dwarfed for the first time by the Münster of Strasbourg. So you see this beautiful roof. I hope you are enjoying yourself. I'm very happy that most of the time more than 50 people are here. Although I have my gimbal fight at the moment, but I think it's not too bad. And this is a postcard view, gosh. This is a real postcard view. Interesting music. Not really fitting to the church. So, we continue. This is a great view here. Actually, for those who live in Vienna or who plan to visit Vienna very soon, there is a tour. I offer a tour at the end of September into the rooftop of St. Stephen's. We do St. Stephen's from the cellars, from the catacombs to the rooftop, and also up to the northern spire into the chamber where the big bell of Austria is kept, the Pummerin. So it's an all-inclusive tour of St. Stephen's Cathedral. Look it up on our website, and I would be really happy if you would join me. If you have to come over and do the tour with me, okay? It's time that you come to Vienna. Always homesick, you have to come finally. All right. Wow. It's nearly 1 hour. I wanted to show you much more, but I love to, I just enjoy myself. I enjoy myself with you. But I want to continue 2 more minutes because I also want to show you the northern spire, and then we have completed St. Stephen's Cathedral as well. And then I have to finish the tour. But if you liked it, also in English, if you liked the more overviewy tour that I gave today, then I could offer to do a second part. In the second part, I could cover everything between St. Stephen's Cathedral and Donaukanal, like the big river. Gimbal, work. It doesn't want. It's stubborn today. What can I do? So, now maybe. Yes! Here we go. No, it's not beginning of Kirtag. No, we have a different Kirtag in Vienna at the moment. It's the Neustifter Kirtag. It's in the 19th district. It started yesterday, but Stephanskirtag is usually later in the year. So it's not at the moment. It's just this place over there is scaffolded, so it's not start of Kirtag, Stephanskirtag. So once more, it's always a star, this church, isn't it? And then also the other side here, with the modern building, the Haas house, with the bar on the top and the restaurant on the top, the Dough & Co restaurant. So the city is quite impressive, I have to say, especially in that light. So, and I would like to take you around the church very, very quickly. We are walking along, like this here was all cemetery in former times. The Stephansfriedhof, it's a large cemetery. So whenever they have to kind of restore the sewers here or so, usually they find a coffin that was forgotten when the cemetery was closed in the 18th century. There were hundreds of graves around here. So we're going to the back side of the church. I suppose there is a service inside now because it's brightly lit inside. Here would be the entrance to the stairs leading up to the northern spire, to the southern spire, of course. So sorry. Oops, I'm standing too close. I'm so happy that you like it, even in English. My English with my German accent. I can never get rid of that accent, makes me very angry. But some people say it's charming, so might be okay. So, if you want to have a second part of this, the city center from St. Stephen's down to the Danube Canal, then send me a lot of hearts. Send me a lot of hearts now, and then I will know. Okay, no one wants. Okay, there the hearts are coming. All right, then I take this and with me, more or less. Thank you. And we will offer it very soon, okay? And I will be very, very happy to be with you again very, very soon. But now I have to finish this tour, although I could go on forever. I promised to show you the northern spire. Thanks for the hearts. I promised to show you the northern spire. The northern spire is not yet restored, so it's still very dark. They just started restoring it, and it's unfinished. It was supposed to be a few meters higher than the other one. Here's a great view over to the big southern spire, and this is the northern spire, which is only a torso because they ran out of money. So they did it in a real Viennese way. They said, okay, let's leave it like this. It's not finished, but let's leave it like this. Let's put a little Renaissance dome on top of it, and that's it. And that's what we did. And in that dome is now the largest bell of Austria, the Pommerin, with its deep, beautiful sound. The church is also very much connected to Mozart. Mozart got married in a part of the church here. His children were baptized in here. There is a little chapel over there. There's also the exit from the catacombs. That is where Mozart's coffin got his final blessings. And not far from here, basically through that doorway over there, is the Domgasse with the Figaro house, and that is where Mozart lived for a couple of years. So, all right, it's hot. I don't know what my gimbal does. Oh no, but it was better now at the end. I think I found the correct mode. All right, so here we are. It's pretty hot. Maybe I'm sweating out my fever. It was a joy for me. I really enjoyed being with all of you. Lynn, thank you for joining me as well. And thank you for sharing the opportunity to have a couple of my old Hago friends on my tours again. So check out my YouTube channel because we also post our videos on our YouTube channel. Look at our website. And yeah, join me on one of the other tours. If you want to buy me a coffee, a melange at the Havelka, or maybe an Aperol in the Palmenhaus at Burggarten, you can do that because I think Nicholas posted a link. All right, so have a great evening or a great day wherever you are. Stay loyal, join the Foxes, and see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye.